This is the Criterion Creeps podcast, and tonight we're doing a triple header, RJ. We're watching those Alfred Hitchcock movies on Laserdisc. Remember Laserdisc, RJ? Remember that thing we do? We talk about those Laserdiscs?
I mean, I've heard of it vaguely, but it seems like we only do it when it's convenient.
Well, it's every 25 episodes or something like that.
Oh, is there an actual format to how we do this?
It seems like it.
I thought we just did it when we didn't want to watch the Criterion movie.
Oh, well, it's been generally of late. Or in history's past, there's been some weird ones we fit them in here and there to get the numbers just right. But Here we are, 175, and we're doing some Hitchcock. And,
a little cock,
and a little cock, and they released 3 of these motherfuckers all in a row.
Why?
Whatever, Spine 22, 23, 24. Sabotage from 1936 from Big Al. The tagline for this film: a bomb plot, a killing, justice. The synopsis for Sabotage: a Scotland Yard undercover detective is on the trail of a saboteur who is part of a plot to set off a bomb in London. But when the detective's cover is blown, the plot begins to unravel.
Terrific synopsis.
So,
great.
So these movies are all sandwiched between 39 Steps and Lady Vanishes, which we've covered previously. So these are like in that wind. Like, I don't know if anyone would be going out of their way to say these are prime Hitchcock movies at all. But Sabotage has got, I guess, the one, like, the really memorable scene of the streetcar bombing that has been referenced in all sorts of film theory and practice with Hitchcock about how to make suspense. You do it in broad daylight. You have something that's like a visual, but people don't know where it's at. That whole thing, that element of the thrill.
Is that the thing where he was always like, suspense isn't this, suspense isn't a ticking bomb. It's a ticking bomb that the audience can see, but not the characters?
Correct.
Oh my God. Is that what he was talking about that whole time, Jarrett? It was sabotage?
Sabotage.
Sabotage. Nice. Tell me more about Sabotage.
So I've never seen Sabotage before this week.
Oh, really?
Nope. Never had seen it. It just it's always been available in shoddy public domain DVDs, and you check out some of those, and they're terrible. They're really hard to watch. But I kind of knew that at one point Criterion had put them out on Laserdisc, and I always figured one day they would probably put them out on DVD or Blu-ray. So I was like, well, if I ever want to watch them, I'll get around to it that way. That day has still never come, but 2 out of these 3, Sabotage and Young and Innocent, are on the Criterion channel now. So that's kind of solved. And you can watch a dreary old copy of Secret Agent on YouTube if you're interested. But
that's the way I did all 3 of these.
There you go.
Well, actually, not really.
No.
But that's what I'm going to say in a court of law.
I see. So Sabotage, I'd say that of the 3 movies, it's probably the best made, and it feels like the most like technically innovative of the era. There's a lot of just like really great use of foregrounds and transitions.
Sure.
So the plot, I guess. So the plot, we have this saboteur guy. He runs a theater with his pretty young wife and son.
I don't know if, like, I was a little confused. I was like, it's maybe his son, but also maybe I kind of thought it was her son, and he was kind of just there.
Yeah, this is where I was never very super clear on this, and sometimes with these 1930s movies, the audio recording is so bad for these movies that I am often like, what are the relationships between these people? But no, it's his wife, for sure.
And her son?
Her son from a man who died. Does that sound right?
I mean, that's what I...
Or is it her brother, her little brother?
Oh, what the fuck?
I think.
Did they mention that at all? Did we miss that? Did I miss that?
It could have just been mumbled out.
Okay.
Yes.
If you
that's
say
what it is.
so,
That's what it is.
You.
Okay, because like I didn't think it was like father, father, mother, son. That didn't really make sense to me.
No.
But no, it's her younger brother. It makes it all fine.
Sure.
That's
no problem.
It's fine now. It's his brother. It's his brother-in-law that he sent off.
No big deal. No big deal. It's
happens
fine.
to be a child.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, that's a real we call that a Duncan approach.
Yeah. So this
real
is based
move.
on a novel by Joseph Conrad called The Secret Agent.
Oh, you don't say. Why is it so confusing? Why did they use one name for another and another for a different one?
Well, that's the movie business, RJ. It's the movie business.
That's just how they do it, huh?
That's how they roll.
Interesting.
So this dude, he's like pretty uptight.
Yeah.
And the power goes out after one of these bombing attempts that gets laughed off, really angering this group of saboteurs, which is like kind of going along the lines of like Lady Vanishes and 39 Steps, where there's like this kind of shadowy, unknown organization that they never really explicitly say who it is. You know, they're not saying it's the Germans. It's not like some particular international group. It's just like some people who are trying to, hurt people, and it's left kind of vague. Did you get that sense? Like that was like these. You don't really know what their motivation is, other than to like create discord and chaos in the society, like anarchist-ish. But they don't identify as that either. It's just kind of like they're doing bad things, and they must be stopped.
Yeah. No, I found it incredibly vague, and I was like, I don't really know what your goal is here, guys.
Boys.
I don't know what's going on, boys. What are we doing here? So I'm with you a little bit. I like what you said makes sense, but at the same time, when I was watching it, I was like, I don't really know what we're trying to go for.
So so that's like kind of the plot, and then there's this detective, the guy who works at the grocer right near the theater, and he's really helpful. All these movies have helpful men that I don't know. They're all the same interchangeable guy. Slick back hair, mug and face. They flow through these films.
What else do they do, Jer?
They make advances. They have designs on these ladies.
What kind of advances? Sexual or what?
1930s appropriate advances.
One of those. That's pretty serious.
Well, but then I guess there's also Peter Lorre's style in Secret Agent.
We'll get there, unless you want to do all three at once.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll finish here with this Sabotage.
Okay.
So, there's a plot. There's some letters being written out to men because they're going to gather their resources and get this real big bomb set up. This big plot of theirs. But this detective, he's onto them, and he literally stumbles through a window after he's like very badly listening in with his hand hanging out the other side where these guys can see it. And he walks it off, and they let him live, and they're like, "Fuck this job, we're out." And so our boy theater owner, he's like, "God damn, I still gotta make this bomb happen. I've gotta pay things off." So what's his name? Carl Verloc. Ooh. It's a menacing name.
That's not bad. That's almost like Jared Duncan.
So Carl, he knows he's being watched, but he's got to get this bomb out there. Oh, there's the pet store owner. I can't forget him.
Oh yes.
This who's like the building these bombs for the unnamed European country,
I guess.
And so he's talking about birds a lot and canaries, and but he's got this package out there, and it's ticking. It's got to go. It's set for this particular time, 1:45. So what does he do? Well, he sends his son-in-law, little Stevie, off with a package with a couple of film reels. And this young boy, he spends the next hour and 45 minutes of his life making his way through the streets of London, stopping to watch a parade. Not allowed to cross the street, and then he gets onto a streetcar, and what do you know? He sits beside this adorable puppy that's like kind of gnawing at him, and they're just like having a good time. And there's like even like the character's like, hey, you can't get on this treat car. You got those film reels. Those can explode.
Tap in their nose.
And then it explodes, and they're all dead. They're just gone. Poof.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of follow up to that either, Jer.
Well, they're
just dead.
There's some clues. There's some clues of the film reels that are left, the casings.
Well, I mean, there's that, but
there's no like little. But hey, there's no little dead kid body, no dog body. I mean, are you complaining about that?
I would have preferred to see a dead kid.
Okay.
Because it would have been a little closure at least.
Well, you do get to see visions of Stevie as his sister mourns him, and she like turns around and sees his face popping up here and there, which I thought was like some nice filmmaking.
I liked that also.
No, I did. It was very good. It didn't bring a lot of attention to itself. It didn't have any like weird distortion, making sure it's very clear that it's like an illusion, that it's a delusion of her mind. It's just like, oh, she's seeing this kid that we all know is dead, so he's obviously not there. But very effective. So yeah, the cops, they close in. They're putting the pieces together, and Carl. We get the scene where Carl is kind of excusing sending Stevie to his death to Mrs. Verloc, and it's like, is she going along with this? Is she kind of like? And she's like, oh yeah. No, that makes total sense, Carl. You did the right thing. I totally understand why you sent my little brother off to die. Blowing him up makes total sense. So Carl gets stabbed to death. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
But then, of course, there's the thing where like, oh no, she feels really guilty about it because she's a good person. She feels really bad about killing her husband. But hey, what do you know? One thing leads to another, and was it the bird, Mr. Pet store owner? He brings a bomb back to the house because he thinks he's being followed, and then he blows up, and the whole house blows up. The evidence of her dead husband blows up, and everything ties up in a nice, neat package.
A nice, neat little package.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's far off. I mean, not far off. That's what they were going for. So, tell me what you think about Sabotage.
It's okay.
I agree.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't think it's as good as The Lady Vanishes, which I'm still pretty high on. I don't know. It's probably in the same ballpark for me as 39 Steps, which is another movie that like I know a lot of people really, really like. But it's always kind of like there's an Englishness to these movies and like very like very quaint. And the sense of humor that's there. There's the one scene, I think it's in this movie, where they're at the aquarium. Making
aquarium.
They're at the aquarium.
And that song here.
And there's like there's the Poindexter kid with the glasses who we later see in Young and Innocent. And he's talking about sea turtles. And he's talking to his like date or whatever, talking about after the sea turtle lays all their eggs, they change sex. And then the girl responds, "Well, I think that sounds like a good idea, or I would too." It's like so droll. It's that type of stuff. That's like pretty well the humor level that we're running at. But the whole bomb stuff. I mean, I knew it because I've seen that clip over and over and over again, but I don't remember it blowing right up because they never get to that point when they're kind of illustrating that description he gives about the ticking time bomb going off and the audience knowing. They always go, oh yeah, no, they blows right up. So I was kind of surprised by that. But I don't know. Beyond that, it's fine. But
yes,
I don't know. It's okay. He gets better, as we know. Makes
allegedly
he makes that notorious good stuff. I would watch this again before I'd watch Spellbound.
I don't even remember what my take on Spellbound was, if I liked it or not.
That's the one with the psychoanalysis.
Oh yeah, Spellbound was bad. Spellbound was bad. Rebecca was good though.
Yeah, Rebecca's good.
Is that Hitchcock?
Yeah. Yes.
Rebecca's good stuff. Okay, here's my little rub for Sabotage for you. I found it funny that you mentioned the Englishness to it, because when I was watching these three, when we get to Young and Innocent,
yeah,
my take on that was, this is a right proper English movie. That's how I felt about that one. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I agree with you. Sabotage it's fine. There's nothing bad about it, but there's also nothing that really kind of stands out. I also liked the scene where she's seen the faces of him in the crowd. I was like, ooh, that's cool. And I did not know about the child and the dog blowing up, and I was just like, whoa, did they just blow up a little kid and a dog? Wild stuff, man. So I didn't know that happened, and when it did, I was like, ooh, shit. Not bad.
You thought that kid and dog were going to get out of that, huh?
Well, I was like, they'll probably be okay.
They'll walk it off.
And then you know what, Jared? Yeah, they'll walk it off. And then I was like, oh, they're not okay. But I thought, I mean, Hitch had incredible balls, I think, for the time. He was like, you know what, I'm going to blow up a kid and a dog. Because people were probably like, well, maybe you shouldn't. And he was probably like,
apparently he regretted it.
Give a shit.
Apparently he regretted that. He's like, you don't do that.
Roach. Where it was just like, don't kill the dog?
What?
Isn't that what Michael Bay said? He's like, never killed the dog?
No, yeah, sorry, you cut out there. Yes, that is often on my mind, of the rules of Michael Bay that Alfred Hitchcock was breaking.
Well, but
60
like you
years
said,
earlier.
he regretted it.
No.
So apparently Michael Bay, like later on, was just like, you know what? That's right.
Do you see? Right. You make movies about oil drillers on asteroids. That's the ticket.
Should we do the Armageddon episode again?
Just do it all over again.
Just do it again, like exact same, not change anything, but do it again. Anyways, so okay, Sabotage, I believe. I thought it was good. I thought the fruit and vegetable stand man was a little evasive, in the sense that he was just walking into people's houses, and I understand that's the point, but at the same time I was like, some fucking guy came into my house and was like, this is the lettuce you want. I'd be like, what are you doing? Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you, dude. How do you feel about lettuce?
People were very helpful back then.
I don't think that's helpful, because even that kid was like, I told you which one I wanted. Ooh. And then that guy was like, yeah, you did, but I didn't believe you because you're a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, maybe he was right. So, old Russian or whatever they are, those guys, they're kicking around and they're doing up mob things. And I was like, that's fine. And little kid, he's doing stuff. And I was like, that's fine too. And then the lady, she's feeling bad. And I was like, you know what? I think that's okay. All right. So I think our take on this movie, Jarrett, was that it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say other than that. It's like, yeah, it's fine. There's nothing like real bad about it, but there's nothing that's gonna rock your world, man.
Yeah. So that movie came out in December of 1936, and 6 months earlier, Secret Agent came out.
Why did they mess up the order in Criterion? They didn't want to do it chronologically, or what?
They maybe just thought they would do it alphabetically.
I suppose.
No, that's a different way of thinking about things. So Secret Agent from 1936, synopsis. After 3 British agents are assigned to assassinate a mysterious German spy during World War I, 2 of them become ambivalent when their duty to their mission conflicts with their consciences.
Is that what happens in this movie?
Yes.
In a sense,
in a sense, in the biblical sense.
In the biblical sense, could you elaborate on that, Jarrett?
So, thoughts about this movie. First time I watched this, RJ, I fell asleep for about half of the movie.
Tell me more. Wait. Actually, sorry. Was this a first time watch for you, or is
this was a first time watch for me?
Okay, so when you first tried, you fell asleep.
I fell asleep. I slept for about half of it. I was kind of in and out. I'd be like, "What's going on?" Sleep again, and then I wake up and I'm like, this movie's got like that, just that sound quality of some of these 30s movies. You just want to go to sleep, never wake up again. And then you wake up and you're like, what's going on? What sort of factory is this that they're running around in? Why are they running down those gigantic sets of stairs? This seems all very exciting. Oh, look at that dash hound. Oh, what a lovely little dog.
Another dog. I'm happy to report we go 3 for 3 for dogs in films.
Yes, we do.
And we'll get there. But that was a nice little wiener.
Yeah,
running around.
It's a real dog trilogy here.
Sure. I mean, if that's the takeaway we have from this, I'd be pretty happy.
So I rewatched this, and I was awake for the remainder. It was a good decision to make because now I actually can say I've watched the movie and actually know the plot. Whether or not that makes a difference, I don't know. So what's the deal with Peter Lorre?
You tell me the deal with Peter Lorre, because I've been thinking about it for a while and I wasn't really sure how to approach that. So I'd like to hear your take.
So I guess the joke of the character is Peter Lorre, who's kind of browned up. He's got this earring, and I don't know if he's wearing even fake teeth or not, because I don't remember his teeth being this weird looking in M. But he's got the curly hair, and he's a wild man of an unknown origin.
That's fair.
Yeah, from parts unknown.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like kind of the idea is like no one knows exactly where he's from. His name's not the general. Some people say he's like Mexican, but he's not. And there's a whole lot of this and that. And he also seems to be very much about the ladies, chasing the help up the stairs.
In which way?
Sexually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I needed clarification on that.
Yeah. So the movie kicks off with a pilot, a British pilot who's had a death fate for him without him even knowing about it. So the movie opens up with a funeral. There's a lot of some mourning going on. There's a one-armed man who's heading up this funeral, and then after everybody leaves, he just goes over to that coffin and just picks it up with one arm, and you find out it's empty. And then he looks over at this big portrait of the man, and you go, what's this all about? And then you see the guy, he rolls in, he's like, what's up about this? I just got back and I found out I'm dead. And this guy named R tells him, hey, you're going on a secret mission. You're going to be you have a new name too, Ashidin, because that's what this is based on. A couple short stories of this Ashidin fellow. So he gets teamed up with this sassy young woman that's playing his wife, and the general, Peter Lorre. I'm actually blanking out on what the actress's name is from this, playing the lady lead, Madeleine Carroll.
Oh, sure. You don't know Madeleine Carroll?
I know.
Fucking idiot. Tell me more about Madeleine.
So she's being pursued by this American man.
Sure.
Yeah,
something.
Well,
yeah.
Robert Marvin, played by Robert Young. So he's this Robert Young guy. He's just hanging out and wants to be part of the action and really lusting after her too. And old Richard Ashidin now, he's kind of like, well, what's this all about? Being very British, RJ. And
I don't know.
They're going to find out what's going on. Who is these secret agents? There's secret messages being passed around in chocolate bars, and you have old men taking these. I don't know why this upsets me so much. This act of this perfectly great looking European chocolate, and you open it up, throw it right in the garbage, and get the secret note.
I don't think it's nothing against you, dude. That was a weird scene.
It's very upsetting.
I also thought that was weird.
I did love the moment where like the man's reaching for the bar, and he runs his finger along the edge and he finds the bar that's meant to be passed along because that's the one with the secret message. Thought that was pretty good. So yeah, this movie, boy, I think it's the weakest of the three.
I agree.
Okay, good. So I don't know. These characters just kind of do things.
What kind of things are they doing, Jer?
They're trying to find this spy, but it seems like they're just stumbling around. Oh, actually, that's not true. So first of all, they go to Switzerland because they got a contact who works in a church, and he's going to be playing an organ or something. And they walk into this church, and they just hear this one note continuously being played from an organ, which is not what would happen. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have to light these 3 candles just to signal that we're the right person for them to talk to. And then they walk over to this guy, and they're like, hey. And then they move him. It's like, oh, yeah, he's dead. And of course he is, because his throat's been slit. So they're like, well, somebody's onto him. They open up his hand, and they find a button. Then they decide to go play at the casino, some gambling games, some dice games, and the Marvin guy, who obviously to me the whole time was the secret agent, because it's like he's the only one that doesn't make any sense. He's like, why else is he there? So that kind of like, I didn't really realize that there was supposed to be suspense to it all. It was just like, well, how long till they realize it's him? But the movie plays like he's not it, and maybe it's one of them, but not even really at all, right? Like there's no
there's no real suspense.
None.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, but then they think this one guy, this one man with the dash hound, they think he's the agent because all this like circumstantial evidence is pointing toward him, and they make some big leaps. They're just like, yep. He's got that button that he doesn't even realize he's missing. Well, he's guilty. He's got this woman that lives with him who's German. Oh, yeah. Guilty as fuck. Throw him off the goddamn mountain.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that button scene. I was like, why is that the thing we're going with here? Why is that such a big deal? And they're just like, fuck. Dude doesn't know he's missing a button? What a fucking piece of shit.
Kill him.
So
they go mountain climbing. And he dies, and they're like, hands are washed of this. Good job, folks. We can retire now. We've served our time. We've done our duty to our country. Everything's great. Only it's not. They discover that the secret agent has not been caught, and now they're like, oh, now we feel horrible. And so now they don't even know if they want to continue doing this whole thing. But maybe just one last shot. We're going to go to the chocolate factory. We're going to find out what's going on there at the old chocolate factory. A man gets punched in the nose. I definitely remember that. And they're being chased around, very hijinksy. And they find out it's Marvin. It was Marvin all along. The old horn dog from America. He's the German. Can you believe it? Because he was pretending he didn't know German so well. I mean, it's impossible.
I can't believe it, Jarrett. This is groundbreaking information to me.
No. So he's old. Marvin's ready to leave though, and so is she. And she's kind of like despondent and like, I don't know what to do. Bring me with you, Elsa. And so they're going to go to Greek. They're going to go to Turkey by way of going to Greece or something like that. There's a lot of some globe trotting, a little bit of jumping around. You know, it's a real international affair. And they're on the train and they realize who it is, and then they have a showdown. Before they can actually kill him, the Brits blow up the train horrifically. Like, they blow up this train miniature, and it's like, holy shit, they're all dead. Like, they are just maimed beyond belief. They're fine, except for Marvin, who dies. But not before totally expiring, he fires off a gun and kills the general. Poor Peter Lorre. Now he's dead, and then it's like, because it's kind of ties into like the Lawrence of Arabia period, the Middle East, and the war in that, and everyone's happy, shaking their hands, and then they get in the 2 surviving members get married, and that's it. The end.
I mean, it's just kind of all wrapped up nicely, is it not?
I suppose. Yeah, this is, I found, for the most part, pretty skippable.
I agree with
this
you.
Is what the kids would call lesser Hitchcock, I think.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little lesser. There were things that I did like. I really liked the chocolate factory scenes.
Yep.
I think those are actually pretty well done. Like the long shots, the running, things like that. I was like,
yep.
And even the audio, it's just the sounds of feet stomping on floor, and
that's what woke me up.
Yeah, you're like, that's nice. I like that. So I did like the chocolate factory stuff a lot. And then, I mean, a dog in a casino, Jarrett. Did you even see that there was a dog in the casino? It was big stuff.
In this movie, too, they unlike Sabotage, they explicitly state the country of origin of their enemy, and it's Germany, which was a change of pace from the amorphous criminal organization of these other early Hitchcock movies. Yeah.
I thought Peter Lorre looked like a pirate in this movie, like a real Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean type of dude.
Right.
Did you feel that also?
No, but I can see where you're coming from. It's the earring though, and the teeth.
It's the earring. What was he like? What was his character that he was playing? What were they going for?
I said already. I talked about that.
Well, no, I know, but like even more simplistic. Like, what do you think it was?
It's like a racist caricature of like all the undesirable traits that the British feel are undesirable, I guess. It's just like no one wants to be like that, so it's a joke. It's just like racism, right? It's just very, again, British.
What do you think? If you had to make a list of your undesirable traits, what would be on there?
Lack of professionalism in podcasting.
What does that look like?
Do you want to know the answer to that?
I feel like
I'm going to write down a name, and you're going to tell me what name you think I wrote down.
I'm just curious. Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, yeah. What did you think of the Secret Agent, RJ? You like the chocolate factory? You like those sounds?
I did like the chocolate factory. I liked the running and the footsteps. I liked the sound design, the audio. I thought that was all good. I actually just like. So it sounds like, I don't know if it's just the print, like the main thing of this thing was out there kicking around. People seem to be like, well, the quality I watched wasn't good. And it's like, okay. I do know it's available on YouTube. It's not how I watched it. So I was like, I can only imagine that might be, let's say, grainier or maybe just not as good, maybe. But when I was watching it, I was almost kind of like, this feels like a bit of a lower quality movie in terms of just actual quality.
Yeah, it feels like a director finding his voice and working with material that I'm not convinced he was that invested in.
No, and it doesn't seem like it either. It's kind of just like a paint by numbers type deal.
Yeah,
that's how I felt. And like, I don't mean it as a knock in a sense. It was just like, this feels like a lower stakes, subpar kind of movie.
Yeah.
Where is the story good? Sure, fine.
It's a plot.
It's a plot, yeah. There's nothing, and again, it's like there's nothing bad about it. It was just when I was watching it, I was like, well, I could do without. But when could I not do without? You know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like its noteworthiness is because it's the name of the book that Sabotage is based on.
Well, I mean, it does sound cool. Like, Secret Agent is a cool title. So that's nice. And I mean, it's a clock film,
let's not get all crazy with 1941 or 42 with Saboteur.
I almost logged that by accident. I had Saboteur in there, and then I was like, wait a minute. This movie's not called Saboteur. And I had to recalculate, readjust, and I almost messed it up, man. What would you do?
I wouldn't fuck up like that.
You've been known to make mistakes. I saw that you watched Young and Innocent before Secret Agent, thus making everything we've done so far moot.
Everything.
I mean, I know this is the Laserdisc initiative, but
is. There are no rules, RJ.
No less important.
Well, you want to hear about Young and Innocent?
I would love for you to tell me about Young and Innocent. I would love for you to tell me in detail about Love and Innocence.
So 1937. Tagline, a romantic murder mystery drama. It's got everything.
Sure. It's broad enough. It just might work.
Robert Tisdale finds on the beach the corpse of a woman he knew. Others wrongly conclude that he is the murderer. Fleeing, he desperately attempts to prove that he is not the killer. A young woman becomes embroiled in the effort. So, RJ, have you ever seen the 39 Steps?
Well, Jared, I don't know if you know this. There's this podcast called the Criterion Creeps.
Okay.
And I think it was covered on there once. And I mean, I haven't seen it, but I listened to their description, and it's such vivid, illustrious, just like, their descriptions. It comes alive, and I feel like I've seen it. So, well, what about the 39 Steps, Jarrett? Is that a movie that you like?
It's okay, and
sure.
Young Innocent certainly reminded me of watching 39 Steps, which was made a couple years earlier. And this is a trope that Hitchcock would revisit a lot, of the wrong man, North by Northwest, the wrong man, to just name a couple. He goes back to that a little bit. He likes the idea of how a person, I guess, would fare in ridiculous circumstances, and it lends itself. Usually the character's a little bit like put out by the fact that they're in this situation, but they often do it with that Hitchcock humor, and there's always a lady involved who's along for the ride.
So I feel like I say this a lot, and it's usually as a joke, but that kind of sounds like a description of this podcast.
Yeah,
where it's a guy in a situation that maybe they shouldn't be in, and the humor is like right there, and it's like, oh, look at this guy, wrong place at the wrong time. Am I right, Jer?
What a knave.
Oh, nerd. So yeah, there is all of those things.
Yeah.
And then what happens, Jer?
Well, so the movie opens up with a man with a hairline trigger and a twitch, very twitchy and angry. And then
physical or mental?
A twitch?
Yeah, like what do you mean by twitch?
His physical twitch in his face.
He's like jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I watched this movie. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
This whole beginning and end of the movie.
Sure.
Just maybe. So anyway, then this guy's wife winds up dead, strangled, washed up on shore, and this young Robert man, he happens to be coming across this, and he stops and goes, "Oh, I actually know this woman," and he runs to get help, but as he's running away, two young sunbathers walk by and see the dead body, and then they see this man running away, and they conclude he must have killed her. And this is enough for the police to pursue charges because, well, why were you in her will? Why was she leaving you all this money? What were you doing with this woman? So, of course, he comes across the Commissioner Gordon, Barbara Gordon character.
Sure.
The daughter of the police chief, another common trope in fiction. And she winds up helping him out begrudgingly at first, and not being convinced of his story. I love his escape from the courtroom, pulling the old Clark Kent, throwing on a pair of glasses, and just walking away. Nobody will recognize you.
Does that work, do you think?
Nope.
Actually,
because there's a guy very recently who tried doing that, and it did not work.
I've heard that it's those subtle details are the ones that people don't notice more than anything else. Yeah. Do you think that's accurate?
Yes. You gotta go.
So you're saying it would work?
No, I'm saying it would not work because people wouldn't notice that you're not wearing glasses or wearing glasses. They would just go, "Hey, it's you."
I think if you were wearing glasses, it would blow my mind.
Well, RJ.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
Oh my God!
Hey, miniatures. Hitchcock loves miniatures, and
I like them too.
I like them. Like they have that quaintness that you don't get anymore, but they actually serve a really great practical purpose in these movies because you can get crazy shots of a space. And like a train station that like you cannot get that shot in real life because there's nowhere to set the camera up. You can do whatever you want with the space, and it keeps people employed. It gets the miniatures business booming. You gotta get those set decorators in there and making some real fun. And Hitchcock, like all three of these movies we've talked about, all of these really great miniatures. And I think this was the one that jumped out at me the most. And yeah, Lady Vanishes has got him. I'm not sure if 39 Steps did, but he loved them.
I don't know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure, but then I caught myself for a second. I was like, wait a minute, did it? I don't know. That wasn't well. Actually, that was a long time ago.
A long time ago. So Robert, this guy Bob, he's on the run with this girl, and they're hijinks. There's a dog. There's a dog involved.
Oh, heck yeah, there is.
He's kind of stowed up in a old building. She's going back home to visit her dad and her brothers. Mm-hmm. We see that Poindexter kid again, who is he a creep? Is it like some weird thing where he's like reaching for her hand? I was kind of like, what's going on here? I was getting confused. I'm like, is this her brother or is this like a brother's friend? It's always hanging around. I don't know. Am I not paying attention? That's possible.
I mean, you rarely pay attention. It's a problem we have. It's called professionalism. Yeah. It's something that's come up a few times with us.
An undesirable trait, to be sure.
Sure. I read it like that. Anyways, keep going.
So Robert, they're on the hunt for this coat that he lost in a bar and at the bar, and they find this bum. They find this bum at a where was it where did they find him?
At a barn?
Not a bar.
Or at the bar.
At the bar. But then
is that where the bar fight happens?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, the bar fight surely happens at the bar. Yes. But is that where they found the coat, or was it after? No, it was at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the bar. They find the coat, and but it's missing the belt, and it's like, my God, it was my belt from my coat. And then he's like, well, that was how the coat was given to me. And you're like, what? You've seen? Do you recognize the man who gave you this coat? And he's like, well, I guess I could try, and I guess if I saw him, I would recognize him. He had a bit of a twitch. And a weird twitch, and they're like, well, let's go seek him out. And so they go to this big fancy club, and they've got this band playing, RJ.
What kind of band, Jer?
It's like an orchestra.
Sure.
It's kind of like a...
Sure it is.
It's like a minstrel show.
Sure.
It's kind of like a bunch of white guys in a band, but they got something on their faces. I don't know what you call it. It's I don't know. What do you know about blackface, RJ?
It depends in which sense you mean.
When people blacked up. So this is the thing.
Wait. Okay. Are you talking about current Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the distinction needs to be made clear. Is that not what happened?
So in this film, I see some people kind of have some outrage about this because it's like Alfred Hitchcock has blackface in his movies. But this was a practice. This was something that existed even in 1937. That there would be these performers that part of the show was, we need to have some black performers because people love that. But
it's like swing time, right?
It's part of the show. And so our villain, of all things, on top of him being like, a murderer, a conniver, a schemer, he's also a popping pills for his twitch. But he also is wearing blackface. And so the old bum, he's all gussied up now, but the guy sees right through it. Nobody knows what he looks like, and no one's looking for him because he's also in blackface. But he panics because he realizes this guy's there. He's like, oh shit, he knows who I am. It's like the last 20 minutes are all this. It's like this big, huge tracking shot onto the guy's face. It's pretty good. And then, I don't know, he gets all pilled up. He starts having a freak out. He starts overdosing as he's playing the drums. And then he gets taken to a side. And, of course, one person's like, wait a minute, what's going on over there? And she goes right over and goes, hey, this guy, he's twitching. Come over here and take off this black off his face. And then bring that bum over here. Do you recognize him? Why, yes, I do. And then the guy wakes up. Haha, of course it was me. And it's like, another job well done, police force and independent.
He really kind of lays it out unprompted. He's like, it was me. And there's like, no one even asked, dude.
No.
Not really.
That's when you just call for your lawyer.
Yeah, I thought he was a little quick to kind of take take the blame. You could have relaxed, but who am I to say?
So, Young and Innocent is okay. It's I mean, if you want to do the ranking, I think Sabotage is the best of the three, followed by Young and Innocent, followed by Secret Agent.
Okay. I have an alternative take.
Okay.
Actually, not really alternative. I think you're right, but I think Young and Innocent is the better made movie out of all of the three. Does that make sense to you? So it's like what I said earlier. I was like, this is a right proper English movie. It's just like things kind of line up better, and there's a setup and then there's a punch.
Yeah. Yes.
I think the movie's better at executing what they're trying to do in this, and maybe it's just Hitch just got better. I don't know, but I agree. I think Sabotage is a better story. It's just Young and Innocent, I think, is a more well-made movie.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes total sense to me.
Okay, tell me more about Young and Innocent.
I guess watching it, I was just so reminded of 39 Steps. Yeah. It's like the same kind of stuff, the same characters, the same sort of jokes, mistaken identities, going to parties and pretending to be people that they're not. And then people get suspicious and then you meet the rich people. They're offended by the lack of manners. And then they go, oh, you have to keep them here. You can't just do that. If you hadn't decided to dance with me, we'd be doing this thing instead. It's just the same kind of material that I don't know. I could do without my life. It's the beginning of this though. I was actually I was really into this movie at the start. I was kind of like, oh, hey, maybe this is actually like going to be way better than people would lead you to believe. Where no one really talks about it. But as the movie continued on, it's kind of like, oh, it's fine. It's covering material and a style that's kind of been well covered before in this era. But it doesn't do anything that really stands out to me anyway. But I mean, I love the setup of this, like the woman washing up on the shore. Like that was like, I started thinking of Twin Peaks in that moment with Laura Palmer being found by Jack Nance. Like for whatever reason that popped in my mind. I was like, I could definitely see David Lynch being like, yeah, that Young and Innocent scene. But I'm sure that popped up from other things. But anyway, that's all I really have to say about Young and Innocent off the top of my head. And you say that this is the better made movie, but
I think so, and for a few reasons, Jared.
Yeah.
I think that this movie, like I said, has better setup and punchlines. Case in point, I actually thought some of the humor in this movie was pretty good, like the fountain gag where he keeps trying to wash his face in the fountain, and then the water goes lower. And then he pulls his face back, or it shoots in his face, and they pull him back, and then he goes down and it shoots in his face and pulls him back. I was like, nice setup. I also liked the bar fight because I kind of liked how it played out. I don't really know how to describe that. I just thought the setup and execution of it was really well done. And then my other two notes were blackface and then hat at 46 minutes. I don't know what I was talking about when I wrote hat down. Fans out there, check it out on the Criterion channel and maybe let me know. At 46 minutes, apparently there was a hat that I thought was pretty cool. I don't know. I just thought it was just smoother the way it played out. Where it was like, I think they had better production money, so better production. Cameras were better. I think Hitch was a little smoother. I think things ran like, I don't know what I'm really trying to say. I just thought it kind of flowed better as a movie, whereas say like Secret Agent, one of my issues, like I said, I was like, it just feels kind of low quality. And like, that's not a huge problem with me. Like, hey, I love Video Violence, which is an 80s movie shot on film. But compared in all of these movies together as a trilogy, I was like, well, Secret Agent feels kind of low rent, where Young and Innocent is maybe the loft of the three. Does any of that make sense, or am I just talking out of my ass?
Can't it be both?
It can be. If I'm making sense out of my ass, I think that's even more important than either of the two.
In dribs and drabs.
Dribs and drabs. I just thought it was well put together, to be honest. So I do agree with you. I think Sabotage is probably the better movie in terms of story, some of the scenes, and then like some of the big parts. Like they blew up that dog and kid. It's pretty fucking wild. This movie though, you have a whole blackface band, and you're just like, whoa, here we go.
That brings me back.
That brings me back. Well, it's like we talked about with Swing Time too. Like a lot of people get really offended with that, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. It's just part of the. I don't know. I'm not offended by it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't think anyone would do this anymore.
I certainly would hope so.
Yeah, like I don't think that's controversial, but like I know a lot of people's reviews. Like I didn't look at any of this, but I remember Swing Time was like blackface, 1 star, and it's like, well,
you'll see.
I mean, this movie was made like fucking almost 100 years ago, so
it's getting wow. When you say it like that, we're it's definitely 82 years now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was that? Sabotage 36.
Yeah.
So we're at 84 years ago. I mean, I'm rounding up to 100, but we're almost there.
Almost there.
So it's like, yeah, I realize it wasn't right. It's just, I don't want to like bring the whole movie down. Am I a bad guy, Jarrett? I mean, you frequently said yes, but
and I'll say it now.
This, as I've mentioned many times, this is just a character I play for the podcast, so it's not my own personal opinions. It's just
RJ Baylock says, "Bring back blackface." Wow. It's
well, controversial at best, but I mean, you were the one who said it. So if you have any comments, I can give you Jarrett's personal address to our hometown, and you can send him some mail. What do you think about Alfred Hitchcock, Jarrett?
What after these 3 movies?
Sure.
This is the building blocks. I mean, he's been making movies like this. Isn't like his first 3 movies. He's made at this point. God, this is in his 20th films kind of range. Like he's been active since the silent era, and then he made a whole bunch of stuff in the 30s, and then I feel like by the end he starts to kind of get into the swing of things, and then he goes to America, and then he winds up making his like big iconic movies. But I mean, this is all kind of part of that process, and yeah, I mean, I think from a historical standpoint, you could probably watch worse movies. Would I run out of my way to watch these or recommend them to people? Probably not. Like because there's people who've literally not seen most Hitchcock movies still to this day. So you'd be like, yeah, you still watch those. Like go your way to watch the big ones. These ones, they'll be around when you want to get to them. These are they are deeper cuts. Probably Sabotage is definitely the like, if of these 3, probably watch Sabotage, but even then, like, watch Notorious, watch Rebecca, watch The Lodger even.
What's The Lodger about?
It's kind of a Jack the Ripper story.
What?
Yeah, it's like one of his earliest ones. Is
it good?
It's interesting. It's like he's figuring stuff out. It's got some really great references to German expressionism in it. It looks really good. What
do you mean by German expressionism? Is that some Caligari stuff or what?
Yeah, some Caligari and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta speak your language. You gotta say in shit.
And shit.
Do you want to hear about who hates these movies, RJ?
I mean, yes, and like I've said many times, it's like I don't know like who would even take the time to hate this stuff, but I know they're out there.
All right. So first up, Sabotage. 0.5 star, Maggie. They fucking blew up a puppy.
Well, I agree, Maggie. It's a big problem I have. Maggie seems like one of our people, Jarrett. Eternal Sunshine. Mm-hmm. Vertigo. Napoleon Dynamite. But they only just gave Silence of the Lambs 4 stars. Hey, they gave 39 Steps 5 stars. Huh. Lots of Hitch movies in here.
Wow. But no love for Sabotage.
No love for Sabotage.
Don't kill puppies.
The only other 0.5-star movies are The Room, Weekend, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, Bride of Chucky, and Charlie's Angels.
The original?
No, well, I mean what was it, 2000?
Yeah, the original movie,
the 2000 one.
Yeah, not the.
So
yeah,
I'm not far off from Maggie.
Okay.
I dig it.
1 star from Josh. I got about 27 minutes into it and had no idea what was going on.
I don't think it's really hard to follow, dude.
Well, I don't know. We did say that we had no idea what the relationships were between these people.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily. I knew what was going on. I had the gist of things. I knew what was up, but yeah. Tell me about Josh.
Well, Josh likes thrillers. Favorite movies include Silence of the Lambs, Gone Girl, Clockwork Orange, and Psycho. Not many 5-star films, but they include The Addams Family, one of my favorite movies, Silent Hill, Triangle, Final Destination 3, Cabin in the Woods, Hatchet.
5-star movies?
Gothica, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the Johnny Depp one. Correct. Those are 5-star films. Let's have a look at these half-star films, Jarrett. The New Halloween from 2018. Zoolander. The Omen 4. And there's other things in here too, but I don't know what this Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. Ooh, that actually sounds good.
Sounds like an RJ pick.
That does sound like an RJ pick. All these other ones, whatever. I don't think Zoolander's a half-star film though. Have you seen Zoolander?
I have, and I didn't think it was that great because there's people who love Zoolander.
Yeah, it's not great.
Love that
but
movie.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Here's more shocking things. Josh gave Requiem for a Dream 1 star. 1 single star, Jarrett.
What, did they have a justification review?
Let's see. Not that I can see.
Okay.
Funny Games 1 star. Killing of a Sacred Deer 1 star. Malcolm X 1 star. Suspiria remake 1 star. That's fine. Under the Silver Lake 1 star. Also fine. Mandy 1 star. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a movie I used to like, but now I don't. 1 star.
Why?
So there you go. I don't know. I watched it again like a year ago, and I was just like, meh. I don't know if it was a full watch. I think I watched about an hour of it, so I didn't log it, and I was just like, meh.
Yeah.
This isn't as good as I thought it was.
I was never a big fan of that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, Secret Agent.
Hit it.
Matthew Coker, 1 star. Yeah. The Man Who Knew Too Much, The 39 Steps. Yes, we're at Hitchcock's first golden age, but then suddenly we have this spy snooze fest. Unbelievably dull, and Peter Lorre is completely wasted, not one to live in the memory.
You know, a lot of people talk about actors being wasted. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Maybe that actor that was really good wasn't in the movie as much as
Peter Lorre was in a lot of crap because he was an actor in a lot of movies.
He's there. You know?
Yeah.
You know, Jared? Let's see what Matthew Coker's all about. Well, Jaws, It's a Wonderful Life, Swingers. The fuck? And North by Northwest. Let's go to some 5-star films, Jared. Did you like The Force Awakens?
Nope.
Other movies are good, but that one's not great. Let's go to half-star. Oh, lots of half-star films. No. White God, Cosmopolis, Galaxy of Terror. What else we got?
These
in
are
here,
half
Jared?
stars.
Yeah, half stars. Roma, half stars. The Vivitch, half stars. Whoa. Cabin in the Woods, half stars.
So,
Django Unchained,
Secret Agent
stars.
is twice as good as those movies.
Apparently.
At 1 star.
Did you think Django was a half-star film?
No.
What about Super from James Gunn? Half stars?
None of these are half-star movies.
Brain Dead? Half stars?
No.
Oh, here's one I have qualm with. Any Given Sunday? Half stars? No, thank you. That's a fucking 4-star movie through and through.
Oh, buddy.
Martyrs, half star. Halloween 3, half star.
Cat. Enough. This is mad. This person's...
Brick, half star. Brazil, half star. Oh my goodness, Jared.
This is a load. This is a bunch of shit. Okay.
Yep.
Jacob Hamblin, 1 star. The worst Hitchcock film I've seen so far. It's incredibly boring and dull, and the General is one of the most annoying characters ever. Highly disappointing.
I mean, he's annoying, but intentionally so, no?
Yeah.
Jacob says, I love movies, books, and video games. I'm pretty chill when it comes to reviewing movies. There's a when in there.
Huh.
Aliens, Jurassic Park, Empire Strikes Back, and Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair are Jacob's favorite movies.
Yep.
They have 265 star films. It's too much for me. Let's have a look at these half-star films, Jer. Let's just have a look. Okay, you know what's really weird? All these people had Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. Ooh, I figured it out. That was on well, actually, maybe not. Maybe they just don't like those movies, but that was a Joe Bob thing, like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Dumb and Dumber, Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas, Shrek the Third. So maybe they don't like sequels to movies?
Maybe.
This person? Or, maybe they just don't like things. Oh, this person gave Funny Games 1 star too, like one of the other people we saw.
Oh. And
so me. Maybe they're my people. Goonies 1 star. I'm not a huge Goonies guy, but I don't think Goonies is a 1 star movie.
No.
Do you?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's not 1 star film.
And finally, let's go Young and Innocent.
Okay.
Half a star by Murray H. Okay. No, just now noticed the blackface. Why, Hitch? Why?
I mean, it shouldn't kill a movie for you. It shouldn't. It's not right, but it.
I don't think Hitchcock was like, yeah, we definitely need to. I want to do this. It's my own. And people are like, no, don't do it, Hitch. He's like, I'll do it my way.
I really want to say something that this is okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he wasn't behind the camera, also in blackface. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay.
I don't. So Murray H watched 5 movies on one day on the weekend.
Oh,
that's quite a.
That sounds like
stat.
me.
So they just like Hitch films, but like 5-star films include Parasite, Midsommar, Hell or High Water, Booksmart, Juno, Captain Marvel, 8th Grade, Unicorn Store, Hearts Beat Loud, Roma, Hannah Gadsby, Nanuet. I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to throw that in there anyways. Little Mermaid pops up again. Handmaiden, E.T. Well, no, E.T. is good. Quiet Place.
Okay.
Bad.
I'm good.
You got it? You want to hear what else they hate, or?
No.
Cosmopolis again.
Wow.
Another, that's like 3 for 3 half stars for Cosmopolis. Is that movie bad, dude?
People don't like that movie.
What about Vampire in Brooklyn? Is that a half-star movie?
I've not heard good things.
I mean, it looks cool. I think I'll like it.
Finally, look at that. Matthew Coker, 1.5 star.
Oh my goodness.
So Hitchcock early effort. Basically, a not as good reworking of his own, The 39 Steps. It starts off fairly well, but massively loses steam in the second half. The conclusion is baffling and ill-conceived, grandiose tracking crane shot or not.
What does he mean? Hey, you know what's weird? I already talked about Matthew Coker, but they watched The Handmaiden twice in one day. Let's see, first review.
Or they accidentally logged it twice.
No, separate reviews.
Oh.
Wait, let me see. Oh no, it's same review. Maybe they logged it twice. Well, if they did, then they're a fucking chud. Okay?
Well, okay, there's that word.
What, chud?
Yeah, haven't heard that for a while.
I don't think it's brought up enough, but Matthew Coker gave Passion of the Christ 1.5 star, which I think is extremely unfair. Killing of a Sacred Deer, 1.5 star. All these people don't like Killing of a Sacred Deer. That's weird, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Right?
I don't know.
That's weird. It's weird, dude. It's weird. And Batman Returns 1.5 star? That's not a bad movie. Is it? I didn't think so. Do you like that movie?
Are we done here?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
After the break, our podcast train's bombed. RJ's left for dead. He dies, but not before shooting me. We're done.
For the better?
There's no more of this.
Do you promise?
Oh, fuck. We're only actors. Damn it. We have to do... Sorry, RJ.
Oh, we don't have to die for real?
No. But we have to keep recording.
I don't want to.